Hey, what's going on to all of my Taurus out there? So please make sure to get the book at Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. The links will be in the description box below as usual. All right, so let's get into it. So as you can see, I'm shuffling it up, right? Yeah. All right, so let's do this. Hope all my Taurians are having a great day. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. If you'd like to contact me for a personal reading, I am available to do readings today, right? Kareemspiritworks.com is my email address. Come through. Yeah. So, okay. So, the cards that I come up with are the King of Rods, Four of Cups, Page of Pentacles, the Temperance, the Nine of Rods, the Eight of Rods, Wands, same thing, Judgment, Tower, Eight of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. By the way, I am going to go back to reading 10 cards and clarifications, right? Well, with clarifications, I should say. But 15 that I usually do, I'm going back to 10, right? That way I can push out more content faster. So you have the Emperor, the Queen of Cups, Ten of Swords, Four of Swords, Death card. So what I'm seeing here for the Taurus, Scorpio did show up, which is the exact opposite zodiac sign, right? To Taurus. Taurus. Okay, so what I'm seeing here for some of you Taurians is you do have someone who is thinking about you quite a lot. They're thinking about how the relationship didn't work out between the two of you, but they're housing that, or they're basically lying because they're making it seem as if they're so much better than you. If people were to ask them about you, but on the inside, they really would like you back. The Page of Pentacles, the Temperance, the Nine of Wands is about the kind of patience that a lot of you Taurians are going to need to have, because you Taurians need to understand that don't rush the process of what's happening to you. Right now, you're going through an alchemical process where a lot of you Taurians are going through a transition. We are in a Mercury retrograde right now. So the earth signs are heavily affected by this. And the reason why the earth signs are affected by it, because most of the things that we think are common sense, and I'm saying we because I'm a Virgo, which is an earth sign, that is based upon common sense, aren't necessarily working right now. So that's for the thumbnail. Anyway, so the Temperance and the Nine of Rods represents how you need to learn to relax and don't necessarily worry about who's coming to you and who's not, because if anyone is going to come to you, then they are, right? So the Eight of Rods, the Judgment, the Tower, all three of those cards represents it represents how a lot of you oh yeah, and you have another Scorpio influence here. So it represents how a lot of you Taurus bulls need to understand that with what it is that y'all got going on, you need, if for the Taurians, since y'all are coming out of a relationship, you need to relax yourselves, take some time off, breathe, and then deal with your emotional baggage before you decide to move on towards somebody else. You're seeing it in the Eight of Pentacles, building solid foundations that needs to be built. The person in this picture is a carpenter. So the Wheel of Fortune, this is going to benefit you in the long term. In the short term, it feels like a pain, and it is. But in the long term, it's really going to help you out to maintain your patience and deal with your emotional baggage, you know. Um, the Emperor, Queen of Cups, Ten of Swords, Four of Swords, and the Death card both represent how a lot of you you Taurus have to find your own self-worth, right? That's what the Emperor is about. You Taurus have to find your own self-worth and be loving and nurturing and caring to your own selves, even though other people may not necessarily think of you as being worthwhile. See, the earth signs, this is what I'm trying to say. The earth signs have something in common. Whether you're talking about Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, people throw us away different ways. With Virgo, it's much more of a sadomasochistic thing where they throw us away, ignore us, try to come back over and over. But for the Taurians, it's much more about people trying to get you to lose your livelihoods, and then standing back and watching you if your livelihoods are lost. And see, for you Taurians have to stop being hot-headed, because Taurus can be hot-headed, especially when they're young. Not necessarily so much when they're older, because I've noticed that when Taurians get older, they kind of chill out from that and they become much more patient. But you Taurians, even from young, y'all, and my brother's a Taurus, but even from young, you Taurians are going to have to learn to relax. Even from young, y'all are going to have to nip that in the bud. Because people want to get you angry so that you could become the bull in the china shop, the fine china shop. Break everything. Break everything around you that is supposed to be around you for your own empowerment. So the Four of Swords and the Death card represents y'all are going to have to put an end to that. And one of the ways that you're going to have to put an end to that is by figuring out what's your next step when you're taking a break after your relationships. This is some things that I do myself. We're going to get to that at the end of the reading. Let's clarify the Death card. Seven of Cups, Knight of Wands, the Hermit. Right. All three of these cards is about how you Taurians are going to have to learn to start strategizing your moves a lot better. The Hermit represents Virgo, introspection. Also, it represents how people think that they're smarter than you. And we'll get into that a little bit later as to what that really means. But the Knight of Wands is about how it is that you need to implement it as soon as possible. And the Seven of Cups represents how you feel like there is no other option, even though there's plenty of options in front of you, but you may be too blind to see it. So why is it that I say these things? I'm saying it because, and this is something that a lot of people don't understand. After you get yourself in a relationship, after you get yourself out of a relationship that you've been in, for any span of time, it could be a day, it could be a week, it could be a month, it could be a year. You're supposed to take time off. See, that's the problem with some people who don't understand. Regardless of who you are, you have to take time off. You have to take time off see what's going on, calm down, bring the excitement level down, bring your stress levels down, to be able to put your life back together as well as your inner life. Get a better control over your emotions. Get a better control over your temperament. Study where exactly did your temperament comes from. As y'all know, with me specifically, whatever it is that I interact with, some of the people who I interact with, do I immediately jump to another person? No, I take the time to relax. I must have talked to 4 different people in 3 months. And there must have been at least a week, maybe a week or 2 gap in between all 4 of those people to really go through the grieving process of just the craziness that they was doing, and detoxing that from my life. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't necessarily get or understand. It's the fact that it's not optional. You're going to have to do those things, because once you start jumping from person to person to person to person to person, you never even take the time to be like, okay, let me relax, let me chill, let me think. A lot of y'all jump from person to person to person, and then you wondering why. Well, how come I don't have an identity? How come certain people don't frequent me? Certain people don't frequent with you who their life is in order because they don't have as much emotional baggage as you do, because they know how to deal with their emotional baggage. And they see that you've never dealt with your emotional baggage. So this is just something to think about. That's all I have for you. Peace.